Well, hey YouTube, it's getting dark and we got a freeze warning from our local TV station, and so they said everybody that is going to be out there tonight is going to have frost, which means for all of us that haven't done this already, we have to blow out our pipes. And so what that means is you have to go into your sprinkler system and run air through it instead of having just water. And so that's really essentially what you're going to do. So in this video, I'm going to just talk about really quickly how we do that. And what I have is a compressor. So if you don't have a compressor, you'll need one in order to have this work. You need a lot of air, a lot of volume to just push through these half-inch, to 3/4, maybe even inch pipes. And my pipes on the ground, they're actually inch. So those are just sitting there. And why I used inch, I just think that was on sale and everything works in this yard, so I'm not too worried about it. But point is you need a lot of volume to blow all that air through there. So I have a compressor that I bought from Harbor Freight years ago, and it's a 21 gallon, and its CFMs, which is its cubic feet per minute, is not super high, especially at the volume. But we're going to be at about 40 psi is what you need to blow this out. Really, you need the air to just push the water out of your system. So here I'm going to show you in a second a couple things that I've done, because in the past there's right near B above here, there's what's called a breaker valve or an anti siphon valve, and essentially just keeps the backflow pressure is another thing they would call it, but it keeps the water from returning from the yard back into your system. It's a backflow valve, and that's what it's designed. So after it's pressurized, then the water goes through there. And so that's one of those things that for whatever reason always freezes on me, and I've had this house several years, and I've had to rebuild that a few times. In fact, I have some of these fittings and pipes on this that have actually frozen and cracked on the valves, and so I've had to replace those, and valves aren't cheap. So I came up with this idea, and I want to show you because I think this is really cool, and you may like it or not, but this is what I do, and this is what works. So I have taken a hose, which is a regular air fitting hose, and I put an air fitting on there. And for people who don't know, the way you put these on and off is you use pliers to pull them off. It comes off threaded, and then you use this stuff. And this stuff is called Teflon tape. It's the blue, which is actually white. It's a blue container with a little white tape. Super easy and super cheap. You just wrap this stuff around the threads and then tighten it back on. It's not hard. And really, in this case, all I need to do is blow it out. And I know it's getting dark, so I'm trying to make this video somewhat quick. But basically, what I have here is, let me switch this around. So what I've done is I've created, in line with this goes down to my box, and then my valves are in here. Okay, so if you don't know how this works, this essentially is each valve opens a zone of water to sprinklers, and that's how this operates. And there's like 4 zones in this particular box, and a lot of spiders. And then this right here is the next in line piece. And so what I do is I actually have, this is garden hose on this side, and this is an air fitting on the other with a little ball valve. So I thread this guy on this hose bib. Now your hose and everything else may be very different. I plumbed this myself, which is why the sweating on the copper doesn't look sexy, but I really don't care. So you're gonna look at this and you're gonna say, hey, this looks maybe familiar, maybe not. This is coming from my house on the inside. You undo this because you need this to bleed out, to drip out, okay? And then usually what I do is I take this and I'll leave it somewhere. Like I used to leave it on top, and then I realized that was a terrible idea because the kids knocked it over and I couldn't find it. So I've shut the water off already. I've opened this up, and then these valves, this is obviously closed and this is obviously open. And so what I do is I actually run air through here, open this up all the way, which then, see, there's air in there still. So I open this up all the way, and then I close this valve. So now when I put air through here, it comes up, it goes, oh yeah, I can't do anything, great. And then it comes down into my box, and then blows all the lines out. Super awesome. But it doesn't stop there, so don't leave yet. The next thing I do is, these are called unions. These are brass unions. The way to get them off is with one of these massive wrenches. And so I'm going to need both hands for this, but I'm going to unscrew this one, and I'm going to unscrew this one, because I can't tell you how many times I think this thing is good. And this is not cheap. This is like $100. And then this top, when this breaks, there's a little plastic piece, and to rebuild it's like 30 or 40 bucks. I'm just tired of doing that. I don't want to anymore, because I cannot seem to keep the water out of here. So what I do is I just take this union out, undo it, and pull this up, and then this one right here, take this out, and this whole assembly comes, and I go in the garage and I leave it there, and I never have problems. So please tell me what you think of this design. If you don't like it, that's okay, but I'd love some comments, just because this is a fun channel, and I appreciate everybody liking and subscribing to this. And if you have any questions or have an idea and you're like, hey, I want to learn more about this, please let me know. I love all the comments and the feedback. This channel currently, I think we have like 430 some odd subscribers. I'm trying to get to 500, and then I'm trying to get to 1,000. So keep it up, please. And thank you so much for all the contributions and all the things you guys have said. It's been great. So have a nice day, and I'll see you later.